Welcome back to Family is Everything.
Until it's not. I'm Aunt.
And I'm Andrew. And I didn't bring my mic home from the office, so you're gonna have to deal with my
I think
you
sound great.
That's just because you know you're gonna sound better. So you're trying to make me feel good.
This is like what they do on Pump Rules. They all completely love when the others look like crap. And
Yes.
they're coming off so bad. They just get such glee. Oh,
I realized that on my shitty company laptop that I use, that you can change the setting of the camera in Zoom. And I had it on basic or whatever, and I had to change it to HD. And now I look like I got a glow up.
Well, you could probably do a drop or something too.
Maybe.
You could. I'm telling you, supposedly I could too. I actually have something coming in that's going to be special, but it won't be here for a week or two. So we'll wait on that until
I ordered you something too yesterday.
Ooh,
I can't
for Mother's Day.
All right. So listen,
okay.
Anyways, you're better with chronological. So start from the top.
The stop. First of all, the name of the episode was Mistress in Distress. Or was it Mistress Distress or something? It was Mistress in Distress or Mistress in Disguise. It was
a disguise, all right.
I mean, now that I know, I can't stop seeing it. It's all over the place.
Okay, but wait,
how could they not see it? Because it's everywhere.
I get it, but can we talk about one thing first to get it out of the way?
Yes.
Garcelle Beauvais, you have had a resurgence in your career that was mostly like low budget films and Lifetime movies.
And she's lovely. I really like Garcelle.
Incredible. You are glamorous. You're classy. You know, you went on a show that you've been on daily talk shows. You've been on scripted shows. You're on the Housewives.
Right. Was she on now? The Talk or the other thing? The View?
It was The Real, but it was The Real. It ended, but she was on their final season or 2 seasons. And also, thing about Garcelle that I like is that when she is offended by something, which is usually about race, and they are really they're just tone deaf about race with her. She's like, oh God, she doesn't come with this attitude of let me beat you up for this. She's really good.
Like some people do.
Right. I felt like that scene with her and Kyle back in the day when she really just talked to her about how it felt to be told that she owed money as a Black woman was very educational for Kyle. It was a good moment, right?
Yes, it was a learning moment. Why would you
allow your son, knowing that he has these issues with his wife, right?
I think she's, mom. You know what though? She's been very forthright. What's the word I'm looking for? No, in the beginning when she was in Beverly Hills, she talked about the fact that her son had a major drug addiction and stuff.
I get it, but he's sober and doing well. So why are you going to bring out his horniness on TV?
Is he doing well? Is he doing well?
Good. His cornrows were tight. They were. They looked like he just got done that day. He knew he was filming.
I have a real problem with facial tattoos.
You don't like tattoos. I know you said
I don't like tattoos, but the ones on the face really freak me out.
They're a new thing. I never used to see them ever.
Aaron Carter, I just saw his autopsy
on Aaron Carter.
I know, we knew him well. So, anyways, it started in the beginning with Schwartz all upset that Katie just is dumping the dog and leaving now. She's over him. And then I thought it was so interesting how he called Sandy. And Sandy's like, yeah, you didn't cheat. You're not married. You did, you're not married anymore. You're not married. That was eye-opening.
I screamed at the TV. It was like that scene from Legally Blonde when she just got dumped and she has the chocolates and she's like, love you. That's how I felt in my living room when Sandoval's like, you didn't cheat. You didn't do this. I'm like, yeah.
Well, I mean, there's so much. There's so much in this. That it doesn't end. First of all, I want to start with giving a shout out wherever you are. Sheena Shea, I don't know what your new last name is, Brock's new bride. I loved the fact that they were sitting down doing thank you cards.
Oh, yeah.
Because to me, nothing is more important than getting a thank you card. And if you don't send a thank you card, you're garbage. Sorry. I have to say that. I liked how they were sitting down.
Card when you took me to the Bruins.
Well, no, I'm talking about for a wedding.
Oh, but I gave you a little Bruins jersey for your grandson as a thank you gift.
No. No, I don't mean weddings. For something like that. I mean weddings, bridal showers, baby showers.
Oh, yeah.
You send a thank you. So,
some people are also really bad at it.
Well, I don't care if they're bad at it. To me,
best friend Brian, what I did is I gave him, when he went to Hawaii for his wedding, I gave him thank you cards as part of his gift when I was there and said, you should write them on the plane ride back.
Yeah, right. You're not doing anything, but probably having
people that are bad at remembering, you find a way to do it.
I know. Okay, so do we go right to what Allie saw at the Abbey?
Okay, Allie's a champ. I love her. I've started to now love her. She is wild.
She's not wild. She's so mellow and like she's not affected. Do you think she's smoking?
Yes. And also she is like, not only is she like a total like ganja queen, she is just so strategic and she is so mature for her age. Like,
well, how old is she? Was she 12? Like Leo's average?
No, she's like mid-20s, maybe. Like she's 10 years younger than James, I think, or like.
How old is James?
32. I don't know.
Is he that old? James is forever going to seem 27 in my head for some reason because he acts like 14. And you know what's so funny? This episode, in the middle of it, I remember saying to you in one of our earlier episodes of Aunt and Andrew, Family is Everything, that this was the James Kennedy show. Oh, no, it's not. No, it's not. It's back to Schwartz and Sandy. It's back to the center of the universe right there.
I mean,
Schwartz and Sandy. And how about when Katie came over with her espresso cheese, by the way, and made her little charcuterie board in the sandwich, which looked good. The rolls looked nice. And they started with, she's a whore. She's not a horse. She's not a horse. She's not paying anybody.
Katie's growing on me, and I think she might be growing on you too.
No, well, we're going to save my thoughts on Katie's date. Okay, until a little later.
Also,
this is all over the place tonight.
How about Katie going like, oh, she's nice. She's nice, Sandy. She's nice. Oh, yeah, to dance with her at the Abbey till 1 a.m. It's like checkmate, motherfucker. He came for her so hard. He always thinks he has the upper hand on Katie because of Schwartz. And then he won Schwartz and Schwartz favors him. And that girl just like, she's been hanging out with Lala too much. Just, hello, Lala. Hey, Mistress. That was like a Nene Leakes moment. Like,
it was. But you know what I think? Well, without getting to the end, I think Lala will do herself a favor by pulling back just a little. Because she is coming on a little mean girl. So remember, nobody knows yet.
No. You're forgetting just because little Bambi-eyed meat girl is who said it. But Raquel went up to her at Sandoval's house and said, Mistress, aren't you a mistress? She just doesn't say it like Lala does. That was tit for tat.
Yeah, but no, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about as a whole. Lala would be, for her overall image and likeness as a human being, she'd be better off if she pulled back just a little bit. And when she was nice to her at the end, I liked her more. That's what I'm saying.
Bad for her because I feel like it's one of those things where she now has to like, that's a cringe-worthy moment probably for Lala.
Yes.
Probably watching that being like, oh my God.
Yeah, right. But I liked her more because she was like that and she didn't keep the whole, woo, woo, woo kind of stuff going.
I think she listened to Raquel and that was what the difference was. She was open to listening. She listened. Right. And Raquel also, like in that moment, it was hard to watch because
it wasn't hard to watch. I loved it. It was hard to watch because
I wanted to root for Raquel because in that moment, if nothing else had happened after, like any of the Sandoval stuff.
Oh, yeah.
She did own her shit.
She did
say, I'm sorry.
She did.
And I felt like in that moment, that's why
was she that way because she knew?
I don't know. I think she was beginning.
Totally. What are you talking about? Yeah, totally.
She was also okay with Schwartz not being into her because she was getting banged by Sandoval.
I know. Well, that was her. Okay, now so
he's a disaster.
Okay. How guilty did Tom? I mean, Tom looked so guilty almost the whole episode. In the kitchen, he was so guilty. And then the best was Lisa Vanderpump was so into it. She said specifically, I wrote it down, why do you like this so much? And then she said, oh, you've got a smile on your face.
And then he's like, he looks like a shaggy little dog that's in between, like, I don't know, like he looks in between Guitar Hero and what's that, DDR. He doesn't know what he wants in life while trying to cook from an easy bake oven. Like, it's like he doesn't know what he's doing.
When Lisa was there at Sir and they were at Sir, he's like, oh, Raquel, we can't hear you. Come sit down. And he moves over so she can sit down right in between them. But it's really so and then he was all, woo, 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 woo. And Tom does look like a 70s porn star. If you haven't seen any 70s porn, trust me, he looks like it.
It's like,
he does.
I just don't understand too. I mean, we have to also remember that, like, let's think about this. I'm sick of the watch what happens live question of, what do you think of like the mob mentality? I'm going to explain this to everyone right now.
Well, I do think it's too much.
Okay, it's too much. But here's the thing. This is why it's too much, because I've been reading comments on Twitter and I understand both sides.
Okay.
She is a horrible friend. She is also not really the most self-respecting young woman for what she did, right? Let's call it what it is. I'm not going to use the words that.
But she is at the Marival right now.
She is. But what I will say is this:
with
all of the comments that you're
Sandoval.
making, yes, I know, and he's mad. He's livid that they released it.
He's mad that they released it. He's there with her.
I just have to say that, like, what needs to end is the fact that just remember that when you're saying the hateful things you're saying that from a place of not thinking that they could go commit suicide. Like, understand the impact your words have, but also understand that I agree she deserves to be dragged. But I just
not to the point where somebody thinks they have to take drastic measures to stop the pain.
Can also chill. Like, the world knows Raquel's a little bit of a slut, right? Like, needing the attention, needing the validation.
Right. She's an attention whore. She's an attention whore.
As Ariana would say, no one's paying her to do that.
Right, I know.
And that's true. I'm so grateful she didn't say slut.
Right.
And then Ariana was like, she's not taking anyone's man or something.
Yeah, that would have been worse. But he was so guilty. But not only was Tom guilty, but he was ecstatic and on fire at the same time. He was so into the whole thing. He is totally into her. He can't even hide it.
No, he can't. But Allie can. And I have to tell you, I'm so.
Well, maybe Allie, you know what? Maybe Allie's like one of those situations where when everybody's so close, they can't see it. But when they're out farther, and she doesn't have a history with all these people. No. So she's probably picking up things that other people aren't picking up, Allie, because she doesn't know them that well.
Let me tell you, if it was Sheena, as Sheena said, I would have been dancing with Sandoval. But if Sheena had seen them dancing at the Abbey,
she might feel different.
No, she probably would have gone up to them and started dancing with them, and they would have changed right away. And it would not have been a moment of, oh my God.
But we don't know that. That's
no, she kind of said it. She's like, I would be dancing with Sandoval at 1 a.m. No, but she goes, I would be dancing with Sandoval at 1 a.m. at the Abbey. What I think Allie did that I'm like, yeah, what you said, which was why it needed to be an outsider to see this, is that she didn't care to run up and say hi to them. That's her boyfriend's ex-fiance. And like, she was leaving. She was probably there with girlfriends, or she was.
Right. She's watching.
So she watched, whereas Sheena would have reacted. Lala would have reacted.
Right.
They all would have reacted, except like Katie, probably, because she hates her and she would be Sandoval. And obviously Ariana. But with Kelly, she was like, oh my God, like, this is weird they're here, but that's my boyfriend's ex. And so she was able to see it from that lens, but also not shake the tree. And that's like, I think, the best part. And that's why Sandoval, when Katie said it, he thought that she was just going to say something to him like the same thing Lisa said. Why are you smiling? Why are you laughing? Same thing Ariana has said multiple times. Like,
right.
why are you looking at her like that? But
Yeah.
instead, Katie referenced a moment that Sandoval did not know that people knew about. And that is why he went from his initial reaction was to yell back at Katie when she was.
Yes.
And when
Right.
he heard what she had to say, he turns, and that's when he's like, he gets like mad because he knew that was like, if Katie had been paying attention, which I'm sure she wasn't, she was probably like laughing with the girl next to her or waiting for the onslaught.
Right.
But I feel like now when people see that, if I was Ariana, I'd be like, Katie, did you not see him like get all pale and freak out? Because he went from
because now they're all watching every single move, and now when they watch it back, they're like, oh my God, how did we miss that? 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 Michael Rappaport was great on Watch What Happens Live. And I loved Andy's reaction that Sheena and Michael Rappaport text.
I love that, but I also love that Andy every single night. All right, guys, my book, The Daddy Diaries, is coming out June 6th. I'm going on a massive book tour, Boston, Chicago, Salt Lake City. Check it out. Thanks. All right. And then it's like,
we get
by
it.
the end, it's going to be like, by the end, it's going to be like,
books.
Book coming out tomorrow. Thanks. What's up?
Yeah, no, I know. But I do want to talk about Katie though, and the baby Sharpay she took. Really, I have no words.
He'd never been on TV before because he wouldn't have had a haircut. He wouldn't have done that with his hair.
I mean, he was a cross between Weird Al Yankovic
and his hair in a nice little bun, like high bun or something, like something trendy and cool, like to look normal, or wore a hat or something. It's like your first time on TV with cameras above you.
Yeah, but
you want to show your side part.
Listen. Excuse me, he was a cross between Weird Al and like someone in the movie Yentl. I can't describe it. He looked there was a little tad Hasidic with the curls and the look. He's a baby. I don't know. Did he have to be home by midnight, or he turned back into a pumpkin?
He looks very young.
He's very young. They said he was 25 and she's like 38. Oh, and I want to know about Tom's sperm.
Okay, well, let's first close the story on the
Sharpay? No, he looked like a little baby.
No,
Sharpay.
I have to say, if I have never dated a Jewish guy, but I've heard that through Bravo how great the Jewish guys are. So good for her.
Is he Jewish?
I think yeah, that's what they said.
Oh, his name was Satchel.
Yeah,
like potpourri.
I love that.
Satchel. I think that's a made-up name right there with Raquel and Lala. That's my opinion.
I don't know who would want to call themselves Satchel. And Lala said that's not a stage name.
No, but do you know what Raquel is? I'm just saying that Satchel. Satchel is a name I'm assuming he made up to come to California. I just do.
Maybe.
I think he's an actor wannabe, and they all want to get on these shows. What can I say?
I mean, Allie just seems
and I want to know, I thought it was terrible that Lala said her old house was a torture chamber. You know what? Her old house had a pickleball court.
Okay, but at the same time, when you really break down her relationship with Randall, like I can.
Why she was lucky. Randall was the best thing that happened to her for a long time. Where are Tom's sperm?
And also, she got her daughter, who's amazing.
That's what I'm saying.
And she learned a lot about herself. So I actually don't look at Randall as a bad thing.
No, I don't look at Randall as a bad thing. And besides, he gave her a Range Rover and the PP, the private plane.
Yeah.
Tom's sperm, where is it? I want to know.
I don't know. Maybe Ariana threw it out when this all happened.
And where are the eggs? And if the eggs and the sperm met and they're fertilized, then we're going to have a custody suit over those children, because that's what happens. And I think that Ariana will realize sometime. I guess she got a new little boyfriend that she's at LAX with. Yeah, good for her.
Yeah.
And but she's going to realize that she should have given Tom more hope to have a child someday.
Maybe she's learned that, but also
I think that is the one thing that he has always said he did want, though he is a infantile
and how about Tom Schwartz? And Allie goes, I love Schwartz. He's just 40 wearing PJs.
I mean, they're both so adolescent, but Jax was too, and he's really grown up since he had a kid. So, and I want to say one other thing. I've had Lisa Vanderpump's rosé. It's not but I don't like rosé. I just want to say that.
I mean, I used to drink everything, anything.
Yeah, no, I'm not really crazy about it. Actually, I might do a review sometime on my other podcast of a celebrity alcohol and which one's the worst.
Maybe tequila. You could do a little. Do you want
with
the Kathy Hilton, Kendall Jenner?
Because most celebrities' liquor is terrible. I just want to say that. It's like they found the sewer and they bottled it and they put their name on it.
What did we talk about?
Except
someone's tequila.
Who? Help me.
Clooney's.
Who? Oh, George Clooney's. Well, that's different.
Too. Gary Barr.
That's like an actual business.
Yeah,
This isn't just slapping your label on Ramona's Turtle Time. That she didn't even know what region of Italy it came from. But let's get to
Veneto.
All right. So,
Jersey.
Since we're on the continent of Europe, let's go to Ireland and let's be 19 years old, look for attention, and let's take a pint of Guinness, plug it down, and have it the foam all over us.
I have to say, I liked Jackie. I didn't mind her on watching.
Well, for someone who says she never gives a BJ, I thought it was a little weird that she had this foam all over her face, and she was like loving it. Ooh.
I will say, I think that it is awesome that I have to say, I guess what I can say is this: I resonated with how she spoke about recovery. It definitely, she looks healthy. She looks good. She looks like she's.
There was one problem on Watch What Happens Live, though. With
what?
You could see her underwear.
Oh, you could.
And
Who are you? Who are you, PK?
You could. And then after it happened once or twice, you'll notice if people haven't watched it yet, that she had her hand in front of her legs, like where they were crossed. It was too short, and you could see her little undies. Thank God she had them on.
They ended the after show on Twitter early. That's all I read about because they were so boring.
Oh, well, Jackie is boring. And Marge is so calculated. Marge looks great, but she's so calculated that it's hard for her to really be fun. How's that? When you're that calculated, but
Teresa really disappointed me on the bus.
I will say Jen Aiden, at least she sucked down the pint and she wasn't a mess afterwards.
And she said, I'm going to throw up.
I know. I'll stick with tequila. I didn't have a problem with Teresa on the bus at all.
Come on.
I didn't. Okay, talking about Antonia was big. I didn't. I'm Team Tree. I can't stand those gorgas. What can I say?
It's not that. Teresa, you need to go to an acting class.
It's so bad.
You don't want drama.
Yes. Why would she go to an acting class now when she's been the star of a television show for 12 years with no talent?
I agreed with Melissa Gorga that, like, when you're on a bus with 8 women in the middle of Ireland on your way to an activity on a cast trip, and someone decides to ask a question about your kids with the person you're feuding with, you do just say, like, oh, they're close, up and down, but always close. They're cousins. They'll always be close.
Well, I think it really
brush it off, girl.
But Melania had her 16th birthday and Antonia didn't come and she was hurt. And you know how that is. Sometimes people don't show up at your party and you hold it against them. Especially if it's for something that is random. You just go, oh, you didn't come. Oh, well, screw you. All the times I came to yours.
But listen, Teresa thought that it should be different for Antonia because Antonia and Melania are close.
True.
Because it's okay for Gabriella to miss the Joey's communion for soccer, but that's because Joey and Gabriella aren't close. So that's the difference there, is that, so if you want to say yes, maybe that I don't think it was wrong as a family member. And I think that's where Teresa went wrong. If they had said, are the kids close? Yes. If Rachel had said, are the kids like, or if Melania and Antonia really close, then Teresa, I think, could have spoke up. But the way she said it was that like, your kid did this to our family, and I can see why it's hypocritical, because she could have said, like, they're really close, but their schedules get really busy. Like, for example, like Antonia couldn't come to Melania's Sweet 16, but like she had cheers. So like, why, how could she come? She can't miss.
And well, she'd already missed one though, but I'd like to know what she missed the other one for. What was the other one for? Then I can make a judgment.
Too.
Now I want to know what was the other one she missed, or she got off the team. But if you remember, just a few weeks ago, or was it last year, she didn't even want to cheer anymore. So I don't understand. I think she's graduating this year. Is she graduating, or is it Gabriella? Gabriella is, not Antonia.
And she's
and
going
you
to
know
Michigan.
where she's going to Michigan.
Michigan, really good. It must be really smart.
Yeah. Yeah, well, she is. And they were both they were all with Joe, and he was posting a bunch of videos, and I just love them. And I loved that Teresa said she loves Joe.
Oh yeah, I thought that was nice. I thought that whole conversation, though it was totally set up by the producers.
Yeah, but I loved it. She said, I love Joe, but
I even like Jen Fessler in that. I even like Jen Fessler in that moment. She was really vulnerable. She's like, I did this, then he did this, then we did this, but then we realized we still loved each other. And so we had to work on our marriage. And now, and I thought it was nice.
Who do we still love the best in the whole entire cast?
Danielle.
I just love Danielle. I love her. I love her. I love her. I can't think of anyone. I was trying to think about maybe Christina Kelly on Pump Rules.
I like her too.
Is the equivalent of Jackie.
No, I like Christina Kelly. Christina Kelly also has been on since season 1.
Okay, well, she's been on a while, but really Jackie's been on like 4 years now too, also.
Christina Kelly came on to Vanderpump naturally.
Right.
She was friends with the initial cast. She had some airtime.
And now she's friends with Lala.
There's clearly a reason.
All right. I still want to know where Tom Sperm is.
There's clearly a reason why she didn't get elevated to full time.
And I want to tell you one other thing about Tom Sperm.
But of course, I keep friends with Lala.
I know I'm a little obsessed with Tom Sperm here, but could you see how she was telling him, like, you can't do anything for 5 days, and you can't have a drink, and you can't smoke, and you're not supposed to have sex either. And you could kind of see his mind was spinning like, oh, I got to go 5 days without banging Rachel. How am I going to do it? Because I'm over there every day banging her. That's what I thought. That's all I could think about. And I do want to say, when Jackie came down to breakfast, she was the only one in full makeup. All the rest were just like, I was drinking. And I love that they were like, we're going to party. We're in Dublin.
I like
30 minutes later, they were all passed out in the bus.
When Margaret goes, you have an arsenal, or when she goes, do you think I have an arsenal? And Danielle goes, like, I like that. That was honest and real.
It was honest. And those girls can eat. I will give the Jersey girls credit because they eat like birds in Beverly Hills. And New York, they don't really eat. But man, these girls eat.
And they all great.
Atlanta eats too.
And they all look great too.
They like to eat in Atlanta too. But these girls were eating that food in Dublin. They were like, oh, look at this. I'm going to eat some more.
You're right. Well, it's more the fact of where they eat, how they eat. Like, they go to normal places. Whereas like even in Potomac, it's always like they're at tea.
Who tea? I'm going to tell you though.
That's the thing. When you say eat, I think that the Atlanta tea, like, I just think Atlanta is more of a place where you go and you actually get food. You don't get a crumpet.
I want to tell you, I went to tea a couple of weeks ago, and I know. And I was starving afterwards.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Right.
Like,
I thought it was funny that Teresa was upset that her extensions got booze in them.
I mean,
I thought, oh, and you know what else I noticed? I noticed that Marge was like, oh, Teresa's over by herself. I've got to go over. Like she never lets anything pass. Or
I didn't like how Jackie couldn't take responsibility for saying what she said about Margaret on Watch What Happens Live years ago.
Yeah, I know.
She's like, I didn't say that. And Andy Cohen, who fired you, honey? Remember that. Why can't someone ask her? Are they waiting for the reunion? Hey, Jackie, like,
do you think she's going to be at the reunion? It's in 2 days. Of course
she's going to come. If
Why?
I was a friend, I would say I'll come in virtual.
Oh, I don't know.
Why am I going to go wait on set for my 20 minutes to only be in it for 5 minutes? If that. Remember the girl from Jersey last year, Tiki Barber's wife? She got cut out of the whole reunion.
Yeah, she did. That's why I'm saying I don't know if Jackie's really going to be in it.
Save some energy coming on Zoom.
I thought it was interesting when Melissa said, she's got 2 decades into this with Teresa. I just don't think her and Joe ever wanted to go to the wedding. I don't. And they got their wish.
I think the same. I do think that I just don't think that there's this.
And what's funny about both shows is we already know the outcome of both. Like we don't even know what happened yet with Joe and Melissa and Teresa and Louis, but we already know they didn't go. And we haven't seen it all come down with Rachel and Tom and Ariana, but we already know what happened. So it's kind of good. It's kind of like one of those stories when they show you the ending and then they go 5 hours before and it's leading everything up to it. That's how I feel about the whole season.
Exactly. I mean, but it's kind of like, I don't know. I just hope that they save. This may get mixed opinions, but.
Well, they're doing the Jersey in 2 days. Yeah, we already said that.
Tomorrow, I think now.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Because that was Tuesday.
Well, he said Tuesday night, 48 hours. So probably what?
Oh, that means they're all sitting
today
around.
Or it's tomorrow.
That means they're all sitting around with those gold patches under their eyes right now.
I wear those before I go out on weekends.
Do you really? Do they work?
They help with your bags.
Oh, do they?
Yeah.
Oh.
I will say this.
You have bags? I don't have bags.
Why
twice your age.
Are they not asking Jackie? Could you be more obvious that you hate Danielle because she replaced you?
Yeah, just say that and not Rachel. Yeah, Fuda.
Like, I mean, Fuda came in, but she's the
Fuda has no purpose though.
I like her. I like her. She's good.
Yeah, but why? Why is she good? Why she adds nothing.
Storyline. Her husband's funny. I think she's a safe one. A couple seasons, that's it probably.
Yeah, but she's I would have 3 Danielles. Danielle was a great. I don't know how they found Danielle, but she was a great addition.
You do. We talk about this every time. She was Caroline's family.
Oh yeah, but that's not how they found her. Do you think that's how they found her?
Oh yes, I'm sure it was a recommendation. They say that it's a recommendation from a recommendation. I'm sure Caroline's recommended her. She's clearly gold. Anyone that meets her that has any connection to the show. You know how many women have, remember Melissa? She's interviewed for you 3 times.
Oh yeah, well that's the friend Laura.
They do those open calls. It's probably like, I bet when they're re-upping, we're gonna look for some new wives. They ask all the current wives to send in new people. They probably go to. But
Danielle didn't know anybody, right? Except Manzo.
Yeah, I mean, didn't Jill Zarin got Dorinda on the show after she left?
Oh yeah. Well, Dorinda was a great replacement too. Dorinda's still great. I mean, she's psycho, but I like psycho people. I like a low grade psycho.
Yeah.
I like a low grade psycho. I don't want them to be full batshit crazy, but low grade psychos are fun.
Yeah, I think that we're going to start to see a lot in Pump. I'm really excited. Every week's going to be exciting.
I mean, how many more weeks? There's like 3 more weeks, 4 more weeks. It's April. It gets over. I think about 3 or 4 more weeks before the reunion.
Yeah. And that's going to Andy said people are calling it their Super Bowl. And I'm like, yeah, but the difference is that a Super Bowl is for 3.5 hours on a Sunday late afternoon. This is going to be on 3 weeks in a row for an hour. It's like, I mean,
we know they went back and they filmed again. So we're going to have this space of time.
We're about to hit that time.
Oh, are we? We're getting to the end.
3 weeks left.
I wonder if the original end was supposed to be the wedding and now it's not. I don't know, but Sheena Shea, she is loving that she's in the middle of this. And I love that she says, look at my nails. I can't punch anybody. I
thought she was amazing on Watch What Happens Live last night.
Again, every one of them loves that they're relevant, that people want to know what they have to say. Ariana is kind of happy about it. Schwartz, well, I don't know.
Schwartz and Sandy's
Katie,
is probably
Lala is eating it all up. Sheena Shea loves it. They love
Stir
it.
is packed. Pump is packed. Tom's packed. Schwartz and Sandy's is packed. Lala Beauty is selling out. Come on, it's all. Give them Lala.
You don't think now that and the pony died.
Oh, the pony. But that was so weird with Schwartz and Sandoval. Here I am thinking like Sandoval woke up next to Ariana, filmed a confessional. Or no, that was a different day. Woke up next to Ariana, got dressed, went, picked up grocery store flowers for Lisa Vanderpump, and then walked into her house and was like, and then went and probably banged Rachel.
Before.
That's a hell of a day.
Funny. I thought it was so funny the way Ken greeted them. He could have cared less that they were there.
Oh, what about the scene? Okay, to finish it off tonight, we're going to talk about you sick motherfucker, Tom Sandoval, to sit there and to beat down your girlfriend Ariana about how she makes you feel like you're not a big person, that you don't matter, that you don't have great ideas, while you are banging.
Well, that was his way to justify what he was doing.
Oh yeah, well, sorry, dude, this isn't gonna be an easy one.
Well, he didn't think, it was all gonna go down the way it did.
Garbage.
But it's so good. I'm so glad we started this week with Vanderpump Rules, because I could still talk about it for another 3 hours. But
I could, and we'll finish it with, hey, Sandoval, the turnpike called. They want the trash back. So anywho, we will see you next week on another episode of Family's Everything.
Until it's not.
Have a great one.
Bye now.